What is going on, peeps? Welcome to another edition of Having a Cold One with Tony Montana and Lady V. Today, we have a guest who's a co-host on one episode. We got Rozh, very talented lady, doing multiple things in the industry. Tell me a bit about yourself. What do you do? Before we do that, there's one thing we gotta do at the beginning. We have to have a toast. Now, she did something interesting in the last time. And in your country, what did they say when they have a toast? Remember you asked Farrellyn?
Yeah.
Like some places it's cheers. In Japan it's kanpai.
Yeah, you know in French they say salut.
Salut?
Yeah.
Okay.
They say that, but in Farsi variation it's just the salamati.
The salamati?
Yeah.
Okay.
Salamati. Yeah.
All right, let's start with it.
Cheers.
So
Cheers. Wait, how do you say it?
salamati.
Salamati. There. Why didn't you say it?
Let's do it again, peeps. We'll give you guys another. All right, salamati.
There we go.
Now we're past that part. Please tell them a bit about yourself.
So I was born a writer, actually, yeah. But then life happens, and I went to pharmacy, and I went to med school, and I studied pharmacy and became a doctor. And I couldn't forget my passion, which was writing and working in the film industry. That's why I used COVID as an opportunity to stay home and focus on my writing career. Since then, I made and produced 3 short films.
Wow.
And I wrote a pilot for a sitcom, and did some small acting things and modeling things. And 4 months ago, I came to Canada.
Oh wow.
And,
Sounds really short.
Yeah.
So
That's, right now, I'm looking for a job. Yeah.
Did a lot in a short time.
Yeah.
I find all of us creatives during that lockdown period was a thriving period for us. It was a point where we finally had the
Speak
time.
for yourself.
Exactly.
I was dying, but okay.
What?
It was
You got COVID?
Yeah, I was
No, I didn't
miserable.
get it. I took only 2 shots.
Yeah.
But I didn't get COVID. I don't know why.
No?
No, I was
the thing.
exposed to I was in
Virus?
the pharmacy,
Yeah.
I was exposed to 6 people having terrible COVID, and I was in the middle and wearing 3 masks, and I didn't get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. So your immune system's good.
Yeah, I guess so. I
We
don't
need
know.
to research her blood,
Yeah.
make antibodies, inject it in all the rest of us.
I've caught it twice, unfortunately, but first time sucked way more than the second time. Because it's both times it felt like there's a drill, going in your brain. That was the only thing. But it was I was only bedridden for 1 day the first time. The next day I was back up. Couldn't really go anywhere, obviously.
You got it during the lockdown or just?
Yeah, during the lockdown. I can't remember what it was.
It was 2020 or 2021.
I think 2021. Because I had already gotten the two initial shots. So that's why I guess it wasn't as bad for me. But then, yeah, I just want to rewatch Spartacus, Blood and Sand. That's kind of what I did for a week.
That's why I decided to write a sitcom, because I had that idea for years, and I wanted to do it for a movie sequel, 1, 3, or 4.
Okay, a whole trilogy.
Yeah, but during the COVID, I just binge watched all sitcom comedies, and I should write a sitcom.
No, that's what.
Why shouldn't I turn this idea to a sitcom that is more fun? It's just great.
Right on.
Yeah.
You know, you're not wrong. I did do a lot of creative stuff. I started the YouTube stuff, I started filming stuff, and I also wrote a piece too. I wrote a spoken piece. It was more like self-therapy. It turned out really, really creative, and it was really good. I'm like, oh, this might be the best written work I've done.
Right on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, peeps. That was the one thing. I find, especially when I did my first talk show back down to talk, because that was the one conversation everyone had, is like what they did during the lockdown. I found with my regular friends, they're like, oh, I got drunk, I watched movies. And then when I was talking to other creatives, other artists, it was just like, yeah, they're doing stuff. I was like, yeah, me too, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, I kind of grew. That was like, the lockdown legitimately was like my most profitable year of being a YouTuber. That was just like where I thrived the most, I grew the most as a creator. But I was so frustrated because I was stuck at home. It was just like, the most interactive audience I've ever had was in that period. So the views, the revenue was so great, but it's like, I could not go anywhere. I was like, I wanted to just go and see if I was going to be recognized, getting all those numbers at that point. Lost the channel a year before we were all taken out of timeout. So that kind of sucked, man. We're getting back there.
Yeah.
So the sitcoms, what were they about?
It's just can't really explain because it's hard to explain, but it's something between like 2.5 Men and also something like it's nothing like other sitcoms.
Okay.
Yeah, it has like 6 characters like Friends, but like they're geographically different.
Yeah. But that's the money right now.
Yeah.
That's the money right now.
But it's happening in New York. Yeah.
I think that's the kind of you see now with sitcoms like Friends, where all Caucasian.
Yeah.
Where you're seeing everything now, you're getting all these new series where it's kind of mixed. That's what people want to see, as the world is not as segregated anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of people now in North America, especially, they didn't grow up as segregated in the 80s and 90s. Like, I have friends of all races. I want to see that. Blah blah blah. And it's like the industry recognizes it. Like, we're talking about the project and opportunities I'm getting. Like, the main reason they've been reaching out is like I meet a demographic that's popular right now. I have the look, I have the whole profile, so people are reaching out for me to be in certain type of roles. I was like, hey, why not? Because I know 10, 15 years ago was not going to be someone who looked like me in those roles.
Exactly, yeah.
And I, especially with my casting, I always try to keep it as diverse as possible. Like, we're kind of opposites in a way. Similar in some ways, but opposites in a lot of ways. Yeah. So you get like 2 different dynamics when they're doing stuff. So it's like, it keeps like people guessing.
You complete each other.
Yeah, I guess you can say that.
Yeah, like, I don't know what's going on. You can show me. And then later on, he's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, don't worry, I got it.
Exactly.
Perfect, yeah. Yeah, because one of the flaws they were like, they complained that the Friends got, it was like, why everyone is like Caucasian and everyone is like good looking.
Yeah.
Why, yeah.
So unrealistic.
That's the other thing. With social media right now, you get to see regular looking people. That's the thing you never got before. As it's like, I feel special because not everyone from social media, even the huge people, can transition to the mainstream. Yeah. So it's like, when you can transition to the mainstream, it's like you're one of the beautiful people. So I was like, yeah, I am one of the beautiful people.
No, you know what's weird though? Is like, the adults don't look like, okay, I think Instagram and everything, social media, everything's getting way too fake and beautiful. Like, the teenagers look more beautiful, like the supermodels all the time. I'm like, that's not what I looked like when I was in school.
Well, now
like, teenagers look better than some adults on social media, and I'm like,
see, they have social media to
kids,
go on the
you need
DIYs.
to chill. Yeah, you need to chill.
Yeah,
go outside.
What they're really worried about and think about is like their nails being broken, or just their outfits not matching up.
Yeah, like it's so they're looking
shallow.
to. Yeah, it's like not necessarily shallow. It's more so. It's kind of you don't want to see the kids trying to be pleasing other people through the camera. You know, you want them to develop more of a identity. Like, we all had the opportunity behind closed doors without cameras. Like, you can make mistakes. You can look as ugly cry as you want, right? And develop that sense of self, right? Yeah. Whereas if you have a phone all the time, like, oh, you're always trying to please other people. Like, what do other people want? Right?
Sure.
How do I get more and more people to like me? Right?
Yeah. I think I'm moving along.
It's okay. You want to switch chairs?
No, it's okay.
No?
As long as I'm not moving, I'm wiggling. It's just okay. What was and I was gonna say that my film is actually about that I shoot it, like 4-5 months ago. Yeah, it was like a girl being like having the like earning that confidence to just be her real self. And yeah, because just like being some standards the social conventions dictates to you, yeah, you should like act like this in this situation, act like that in that situation, look like that.
That's hard. Society is very judgmental sometimes, and being able to kind of fight against that, or at least not succumb to that kind of pressure, is hard. Like, even as adults, like I feel like I'm still dealing with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah. So,
Peer pressure never stops in life. It's always going to be somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But you know what though? Like films like that, like sitcoms like that, when I watch it, it does make me feel better. Because I'm like, oh, you know, other people have the same experience. They're struggling too. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like the famous directors who have so much money and they're creating these stories. Like clearly they've experienced it too. Otherwise they wouldn't write it, right?
Yeah.
So,
I want to be famous.
yeah, and you will be.
No, I don't want fame. I don't want fame. Just I want just my stories told. Yeah. And it's just
be recognized for your work.
Yeah, exactly.
You want appreciation for your art?
No, I want my stuff to get made. Yeah.
You want it to be made and people to appreciate it once it's out there.
People see it actually. Then after, if they like it, they can appreciate it.
Okay.
Appreciation.
You just want to create it. Okay.
Honestly, getting it out there is the hardest step.
It was for a long time. Right now, there's so many platforms. It's like getting it done. I feel is the hard step. It's like getting the people to be a part of it, getting the idea. I have like 5 projects I have fully casted. It's just a matter of getting the people who are casted when they're available and getting the budget right to do it.
I'm not even there yet.
No,
I just need to push out my own stuff, and I'm like struggling under my own anxiety to do that.
Don't stress. I've been in this for like 10 years.
That's why I'm here. On this channel, not my own channel.
But her editing is so much better than mine.
I don't even have a channel right now. I was trying to make one yesterday. I couldn't.
It was time consuming. Tough. Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like I was at an event, the Creative Collective. If you guys saw me post about that, and one thing talking about the bigger creators is burnout, because there's so many people who are putting out stuff and it's like amazing, and no one's noticing it. Then it gets noticed and they're blowing up, but then they're burnt out. Because all that time with that lack of appreciation, they're just burnt out. Yeah. There's like the one thing that has been like my saving grace that's kept me going, keeping things as simple as possible and like putting the least amount of effort. Doing things to a certain quality, but just like a good enough quality where I'm not going to go crazy doing it. As like we were talking before about how long you take to edit compared to me. I'll have an episode up on YouTube being approved by the same night we shoot it, and
I'm like, whoa, shouldn't you like hold on and like I want to make sure that we do it good? And he's like, it's posted already. I'm like, oh.
It's like she said this, and I was like, it's already got 500 views. Yeah. What do we have to do?
I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it works.
And it's a video that probably is the best video I've ever been in, the best edited video I've ever been in. Like, you took how many hours to do that?
Too many. Too many.
Do you do it like with Premiere or?
Yeah, I do it in Premiere. But I'm also just really picky. I have a specific style that I like to do it from.
I should ask you for my film edit because I need.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, editing for me takes a long time. I'll take a look and then be like, oh, maybe like rearrange like storyline, make it more interesting. Yeah, I can all like share.
Yeah, that's great.
Love watching that stuff. Yeah. Sometimes I tell him, I'm like, oh, switch it around or add this or.
Yeah, it's just.
You can do like a behind the scene video. For
that.
Yeah. Right on.
Yes.
Right on.
Yeah. Just watch us edit. Just have a work session.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to see that?
They do that with ADHDers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like they have a. I know. Sometimes I wonder if I have ADHD, so it's like I follow some Instagram accounts on that, right? And I find that their habits, like their little tips and tricks on how to be productive, whether you have it or not, it works. It's a pretty good productive hack. So they're like, oh yeah, I know, body doubling, right? Is one of them. So they'll do a live video. I think every Friday or something. Like, okay, guys, we're folding clothes this week. Okay, and then he just does a live, and then he talks to the people, and then I guess other people on their side of the screen, they're folding their clothes at the same time too. Because if someone else is doing it, they'll do it, and if they don't, it will never get done, right? So I just,
Yeah, exactly. When for me it was like writing my own stories. It took so long, and when I was writing a story with my friend, like writing a script, it took like much less time.
And it's not enjoyable, right?
Sometimes not.
No?
It depends on the person you're just writing or working with, because if they're not like, they're arrogant and they don't like accept your ideas, it just be frustrating.
Yeah, I can hear that.
I do that with the game.
If your brains match, it's just great.
I'm the opposite when it comes to writing. Like, I'll tell you the first script I ever wrote, and I actually won my school a video camera. Yeah. So I was in the special education class. Yeah. So there's a project for all the special education classes across Scarborough to write or do a movie, and your school got to keep the camera if it made it to the show. So the class was working together writing the script. And like, I did not like the script. They're like, there's some guy named Billy. He's blah, 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 blah. And I was like, this is stupid. This is lame. So I took my own piece of paper. I took my own piece of paper, went in the corner of the table. 20 minutes later, slapped it down. My superhero character, Ant-Man, whole story, whole plot line, parts for everyone in the class. Yeah. And then there's like, the teachers are reading this. They're expecting garbage from me because I'm like the Bart Simpson of my class. And then they're like, oh my God, this is good. Okay, let's do this. And after that project, I was taken out of special ed because they realized, okay, he's not dumb, he's creative. So I got taken out of special education. I got the school a camera, and I wrote, starred, and directed in my first movie in grade 6.
Oh, what did you do to it? Did you just...
like from there?
No, what did you do
to
the
movie?
Film? Yeah.
I never got... okay. You know how some families aren't completely supportive when people do things like that? So they let me borrow the tape so that we can copy the tape. And I kept asking my dad to copy the tape, and I showed it to my mom, and I showed it to my little brother. My dad wouldn't watch it, and he wouldn't put the VCRs together for me to copy it. So I never got to keep it. I lost it. Maybe there's a slight chance that if I go back to the school, there might be a box of some VHSs that might be in there. But,
if there's no fire or...
Yeah, hopefully. The school's still there, and nothing's happened to the school. I've been thinking of maybe one day going and asking, but...
we can do that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I actually walked by the other day and saw one.
Looks like a fun adventure.
Why not? Why not? Let's do that.
You walk into your high school and you're like, oh my God, everything feels so much smaller than when you were in high school. So much smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you walk into your elementary school, even smaller. Oh my God, it's so tiny.
Yeah.
Little chairs are so tiny.
It happens to me after like going back to a mall after like 10 or 15 years. Like, oh my God, why did I like think this mall was like so big when I was
oh my God. That's how I feel about Malvern Township. When I was a kid, that was cool. Now you can't even eat in there if you get there at a certain time.
That's true.
Alright, so we're forgetting the theme of this game. Let me get the second camera ready. So, Rose, I'm going to ask you a question right now, and I don't know if you're going to want to answer it. So I'm going to put this right in front of you. What is the craziest / wildest thing you have ever done in your life that you do not want anyone to know?
But now you want to tell the entire world on YouTube.
Yeah.
Are you going to answer or are you going to pass?
If I don't want anyone to know, that's not the craziest.
Okay.
I think that
that's true. If you can say it.
If you can, okay. So, up to you.
Craziest? Like making a film a week before immigration.
Yeah.
And not packing.
Okay.
And I was like not even packed. 15 minutes before I was going to the airport actually.
Whoa,
I
this
can't
full
deal.
out.
I
Wow.
can't deal with that.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
freaking out.
That is
Yeah.
pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy.
It was crazy, yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
I was just committed to make my film, and I was just, and immigration just happened out of a sudden. Yeah, I just had to arrange the time.
Oh
and
wow. Okay. Okay.
But
Okay.
you know
okay.
what? That is passion.
Mhm.
That is
Yeah.
true passion and dedication to the
I,
craft.
I,
I
I told
respect
everyone, even if I don't pack, I don't get to pack
Mhm.
like a normal person.
Yeah.
I have to like finish my film and shoot my film, even if like edit it later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can buy clothes in Canada,
This is true.
right?
Yeah.
But if you have all the stuff set up and film, like ready to film there, and,
Yeah.
and you need the location, right?
Yeah, I had the
That's
team. I had the team. I had the like people. I had my friends. I had the story. I had everything. Yeah.
Huh.
Just things kept coming up, but I didn't like give up on making it.
Yeah. Good for you.
Okay. Right on. Right on. Yeah, I got. You come up with a crazy question.
I come up with a
I have sucked at this for the last few videos.
crazy question.
What's she not going to want to answer?
I don't get to get ask
You can
questions.
ask. Yeah, you can ask us too.
Sure.
It's both ways.
If you have a
Oh.
question already,
What's your biggest regret, like in the last 7 years?
Find my accent from New Brunswick.